Hi, I'm Tony, and 11 years ago I left the UK to travel around the world. I spent the first 2 years traveling around Europe and down through Africa on my motorbike. Then I spent a year in Australia before heading into Southeast Asia with my bicycle. Now that the coronavirus restrictions have calmed down, I'm traveling around South America. Hi guys, welcome back to my vlogging series Bikepacking through South America. Just starting week 18. And it's not off to a great start, to be honest. This week I'll be heading up a long road to a junction in a place called El Chorro or El Triangulo. Yuri told me that this was a bad road and was really boring, so I tried to get a bus to take me all the way, which I'd done one day instead of was probably going to take me the majority of a week to get there. And yeah, the bus was an hour late to arrive, and then when it did arrive they said they don't take bicycles. So I've started cycling in not the best frame of mind. And the road is also just like a construction site. So as you can see, I've already been cycling for maybe an hour or so, and it's just construction just as far as you can see. So I'm just trying to stay positive because right now I feel like this week's going to be just a really terrible week, but I really hope that I'm wrong and that it somehow gets more interesting, or a better road, or just something exciting or interesting happens this week. So I guess we'll find out. Okay, it's my second day on the bad road. And yeah, it's been pretty terrible so far, but I was just cycling past this old hotel and restaurant when some people shouted to me and asked if I would like to stop and have some cold drinks. So I stopped. They gave me some cold Coca-Cola to drink, and then one of the guys mentioned that he's about to drive 90 kilometers north in his truck and offered to give me a lift. That'll take like a day off of my boring journey, so I've accepted, and hopefully it'll be a nice easy journey. Okay, so that didn't quite work out to plan. We stopped in this place to relax, eat some food and basically wait for the rain to stop. But then the guy who lived here gave the guy who was giving me a lift some big containers of something, maybe fuel, maybe something else, I don't know. So there was no longer any space for my bike in the back of the truck. So I've only gone 15 kilometers further than I would have done if I'd have cycled. But the problem is now I'm 15 kilometers further than the place where I could actually find a place to stay. So now I need to make the decision, do I just stay at this random person's house for tonight and then continue tomorrow? Or do I just start going now and see where I end up? It's already after 3 o'clock, so there's only maybe 1 hour, 2 hours at a push that I could still be cycling. So I don't know how far I'd get. And I don't know whether you can hear the thunder in the background, but there are storms brewing. So maybe this was a mistake, maybe not. I guess there's only one way to find out. but I decided to just continue going, see where I end up. The storm does seem to have passed, so hopefully that's not going to be too much of an issue. But it's just, where am I going to end up sleeping tonight? Let's find out. Yesterday I set off after getting dropped off by the people who were giving me a lift, and I rode around 45 kilometers until I found a shop that was supposed to actually be like a bit of a hostel, but it turned out that there wasn't a hostel, but they let me camp just in the shop basically, underneath the roof, which was good because there were some storms yesterday. But it just made me think of the difference when I stayed in Rosario the first night on this bad road. Again, I tried to stay at a shop. The people agreed that I could stay there, but then I waited around for a few hours and they just weren't very friendly, weren't very welcoming, didn't really speak to me. So yeah, I ended up instead of camping there, I went and camped across the road. But yesterday in the place that I stayed, the family were just so nice. You know, they gave me some coffee, we shared biscuits, I spoke to them, spoke to the children, you know, in my basic Spanish, but you know, it was just such a difference from the previous night. So yeah, I'm really glad that I decided to cycle the extra kilometers yesterday. But just to give you a little bit of a sample of how boring and just dead this place is, that the road that I'm on now. So you can see the road is still under construction, and it's just like this. Well, this is not so bad. This is just a flat gravel road, and there's not supposed to be any cars on here. Actually, all the traffic is supposed to use this dirt road at the side while this is under construction. But if you just look around this road, it's just, all the forest is being chopped down to make room for farm fields. They're just like cows and horses. It's just, there's not very much to see. The only problem today is that where I stayed, the shop I stayed at last night, they didn't really have any food, just like biscuits and soda. So I didn't really have a good meal last night, and they didn't have anything that I could have for breakfast. So I'm cycling to the next town so that I can get some lunch there, but I just don't have the energy. Missing a good meal, just, you really notice it the next day. So I've been cycling for like an hour, maybe another hour before I can get to where I'm going to eat lunch, but then I think I'll just rest there for about half an hour, let the energy come back to my body, and then cycle as far as I can today on this really boring, featureless road. Yesterday there was more rain and storms in the evening, so I ended up camping outside the front of a restaurant. I had 3 good meals, lunch, dinner, and then this morning I had a breakfast. And I thought about taking a rest day because it's a pretty dark, grey day today. But when it got to around lunchtime, I decided to just go. There was the grandson of the owner of the restaurant, who was this cute 10-year-old kid, but he was just so inquisitive. Like, he was pointing to every part of my bicycle, asking what it was and what it does, and I just couldn't relax. So I decided that I'll continue. I've got around 65 kilometers to do to get to the next place to sleep, and it's all on this just horrible, well, the gravel road's not so bad, but there's just these corrugations that just make it really uncomfortable to ride on, and it just goes on forever. So I was going along the road that's under construction, and then I've met these very friendly people who've just given me some cold water to drink and an orange for some more energy. And these are the guys. Hola. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
Feliz viaje, Dios lo bendiga.
So I've arrived at the place where I'm going to sleep tonight. But wow, for the last like 5 kilometers before I got here, I just had no energy. Like, my legs just didn't want to go around anymore. But slowly I got here, and on Google Maps it said that there was a hostel. So I assumed there would be mobile phone signal, maybe a shop, something like that. But I arrived and there's nothing. No like place to buy a meal, no shop to buy anything. Just a small village and no mobile phone signal either. So I asked them if it was safe for me to camp just outside the houses there, and they said it's better if I camp here. So this is like, I don't know what this building used to be, but it's got a roof and small walls, so it's quite sheltered. So I'm just going to set up my tent here so you can see just a little bit of what this village is like. To be honest, this does really remind me of Africa. Really reminds me of Africa. So I'm just putting up my tent, and I've got an audience. Hola! After spending the night in Las Cayuces, I felt just re-energized. It was a really beautiful little village, and it really made me excited to see what the other villages would be like as I continued to travel deeper into the Amazon. Not only that, but not much further down the road improved and it was actually tarmac again. Last night I arrived at a junction, like a little town called El Triangulo, and it really was just a trucker's rest stop. There was a petrol station, a couple of places that sold meals, and some really bad accommodation. It was also not very cheap, so it was like 40 or 60 Bolivianos for a room that literally just had a bed, no light, no electricity. And then I asked, well, can I camp? And they said, yeah, that'll be 30 Bolivianos. And I was like, well, why? And they said, oh, because you'll use the toilet and the shower. So I was like, okay, no thanks. So I ended up camping outside a restaurant. They let me camp for free, which was great. But actually I wanted to take a rest day today, but El Triangulo is not the place to take a rest day. So today I'm going around 50 kilometers to the border between this region, this Pena, and the region of Pando. But the road that I'm on is pretty awful. It's this gravel road and lots of corrugation. So I'm just going really slow. So who knows how long it's going to take just to go 50 kilometers down the road. I'm about maybe halfway to my final destination for this week, and the road has improved. I mean, it's still a dirt road, but there's no corrugations on this part. And I think I've finally got to the part of the Bolivian Amazon where they haven't chopped all the trees down next to the road. So yeah, it's just this beautiful forest, sounds of the birds and the insects, and then this dirt road. So let's get going. I wouldn't really say it's been a difficult day in terms of like the road and things like that, but it's been a tiring day just because I needed a rest day and I had no energy. But I got to the border of Pena and Pando and found some accommodation. It's very basic. I'll just quickly show you. So there's no door, but the bed seems reasonably nice. There's mosquito nets. I can put my bike in the room, but there's no toilets, no shower. So now, to take a shower at the end of the day, I'm going to take a walk down to the river. This is definitely the strangest place I'd ever taken a shower. At first I didn't really trust that it was clean water, but then some local people came to collect some of the water to take home. So then I just got on with taking a shower. Thank you so much for joining me on my trip so far. Please like, share and subscribe to stay up to date with my progress as I continue to bikepack through South America.
Entonces, ahorita voy a